Welcome to e-learning course on Applied Thermodynamics, Module 1, Air Standard Cycles and IC Engine, Session 1, Carnot Cycle. Myself, Ramesh Biyar, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Jain Institute of Technology, Davangere. Power cycles. Power cycles are the cycles which convert some amount of heat input into mechanical work output. They are generally classified based on nature of working fluid as gas power cycles and vapor power cycles. Gas power cycles are the cycles where working fluid does not undergo a phase change during the cyclic process. Vapor power cycles are the cycles where working fluid undergoes a phase change during the cyclic process. The gas power cycles employ gas as working medium, predominantly air with some products of combustion like carbon dioxide, water, etc. In most of the power developing systems such as petrol engine, diesel engine and gas turbines, the working fluid used is a gas. The quantity of air is used very large when compared to quantity of fuel. Therefore, properties of products of combustion can be approximated to the properties of the pure air. The performance of these devices can be analyzed by an idealized cycle known as air standard cycle. Moving on, air standard cycles. To carry out thermodynamic analysis of air standard cycles, few assumptions are made. In that first one, the working substance, which is air, is assumed to behave like a perfect gas and obeys gas law. The second assumption is that the specific heat remain constant at all temperature and pressure throughout the cycle. For working substance as air, the specific heat values are taken as Cp is equal to 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, Cv is equal to 0.718 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and gamma is equal to 1.4, where Cp means specific heat at constant pressure, Cv means specific heat at constant volume and gamma means ratio of specific heat at constant pressure to specific heat at constant volume. The third assumption is addition and rejection of heat takes place in a reversible manner and instantaneously from heat source and heat sink. The next assumption is compression and expansion processes are isentropic, that is change in entropy will be 0 and no heat transfer will be there between the system and the surrounding. The next assumption is working medium does not undergo any chemical reaction and the last assumption is the cycle is considered to be closed one and the same air used again and again. Moving further, Carnot cycle. The Carnot cycle is represented using a PV diagram as well as a TS diagram and with a one more PV diagram to represent process for mean effective pressure. Here a piston cylinder arrangement has been considered with a 3 blocks. The first block is going to represent heat sink, the second block represents heat source and the third block represents insulator. The piston is made to move inward as well as outward, performing the different processes of the Carnot cycle. A PV diagram is used here to represent the processes of Carnot cycle, which is incorporated with the piston cylinder arrangement. The cycle was proposed in 1824 by a young French engineer, Sadi Carnot. A Carnot cycle constitutes of 4 processes. 2 are reversible isothermal processes and 2 are reversible adiabatic processes. And the cycle is going to have highest possible thermal efficiency as the processes are reversible. Carnot cycle is a reversible cycle. A reversible cycle is a ideal hypothetical cycle in which all the processes constituting the cycle are reversible. The essential elements needed for making an analysis of this cycle are working substance assumed to be a perfect gas, frictionless piston and cylinder arrangement is considered, two heat reservoirs, one is source and another is heat sink is considered. Piston and cylinder walls excluding cylinder head, which is represented here with the letter H, are taken as perfect heat insulator. Moving further, the first process in a Carnot cycle is a reversible isothermal compression process, which is represented by the state point 1 and state point 2, and the name says it is an isothermal process. So, temperature will remain constant. Here working fluid is compressed isothermally and constant temperature is maintained by rejecting heat to the sink. Temperature remains constant, as the name itself says it is an isothermal process. So, temperature T1 will be equal to T2 and it is the minimum temperature in the cycle, as you can see on the TS diagram. It is a minimum temperature. Here the piston is made to move from state point 1 to state point 2 by moving the piston inward. As a result, you can notice increase in pressure from P1 to P2 in your PV diagram, and there is a decrease in volume. This is because the piston is moved inward from volume 1 to volume 2. As a result, you can see a decrease in volume. For this process, work done on the system per kg of air is given by work from the process 1 to 2 is equal to P1 V1 ln V1 over V2, which can also be written as R T1 ln V1 over V2. Here P1 V1 is replaced with R T1. It is based on your perfect gas equation, PV is equal to RT. Next is heat rejected by the system per kg of air. It is a reversible isothermal compression process. To maintain temperature constant, heat is rejected from the working fluid to the heat sink by placing a heat sink near the cylinder head. Here heat rejected in the process is taken as Q1 to 2, which is equal to work 1 to 2, and the work 1 to is equal to RT1 ln V1 over V2. The reason behind this is heat rejected during the process will be equal to work done on the working fluid. Finally, we can establish relations between pressure, volume and temperature. We know PV is equal to constant because the process is a reversible isothermal process. For this case, we can write P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 because the process goes from point 1 to point 2. So, by applying the law PV is equal to constant at state point 1 and state point 2, we can write it as P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So, by rearranging the terms volume and pressure term, we will get V1 over V2, which is equal to P2 over P1, and this is the relation what we will get from the process 1 to 2. Further, moving on to the second process, the process 2 to 3 is known as reversible adiabatic compression process. Here compression continues isentropically without heat transfer. The name itself says it is a reversible adiabatic process. So, heat transfer will be 0, but compression will continue here isentropically. Work is done upon the working fluid reversibly and adiabatically. To continue the process, the piston is made to move from point number 2 to point number 3. As a result, we can see decrease in volume from V2 to V3. As a result, we can notice increase in pressure from P2 to P3, as you can see in your PV diagram. And As a result of increase in pressure, there is a increase in temperature from T2 to T3 that you can notice in your TS diagram. So, there is an increase in temperature from T2 to T3 due to work of compression isentropically. Isentropic is represented by no heat transfer, that is Q remains 0, and the maximum temperature is attained during this process, and the process is represented by the law PV gamma is equal to C. For this case, work done on the system per kg of air is given by work 2 to 3 process is equal to P3 V3 minus P2 V2 over gamma minus 1. Based on your perfect gas equation, by replacing PV is equal to RT and taking R as common, finally work done equation can be written as R into T3 minus T2 over gamma minus 1. Before moving on to adiabatic heat transfer per kg of air during this process, here heat transfer will be 0 because the process is adiabatic. To attain this state of heat transfer where no heat transfer takes place between the system and the surrounding, we are going to replace a heat sink which was placed in the previous process will be removed and a heat insulator block will be placed near the cylinder head. As a result, there will not be any heat transfer between the system and the surrounding. The reason behind this is a piston, cylinder as well as cylinder head. By placing insulator near the cylinder head, the complete setup will be a perfect heat insulator. Then we can write relations between pressure, volume and temperature. Here the process is a reversible adiabatic process. So, we can write temperature volume relation as of T V to the power of gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. Based on this relation, writing this law to the state point 2 and state point 3 for the process, we can write T3 V3 gamma minus 1 which is equal to T2 V2 gamma minus 1. After that, rearranging the temperature and volume term, and finally we will come across the expression, that is T3 by T2 is equal to V2 over V3 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, and this is the relation between temperature and volume for the process 2, 3. Moving on to next, the third process, which is process 3 to 4, reversible isothermal expansion process. The name itself says it is an expansion process. So, expansion means volume has to increase, and it is reversible isothermal means so temperature should remain constant. Here heat is supplied reversibly, due to which internal energy of the working fluid increases. As a result, increase in temperature takes place. By moving the piston or by increasing the volume of piston, temperature will be maintained constant. The heat supplied in this case will be equal to work done. So, as the process says, it is isothermal expansion process, temperature should remain constant. So, for that T3 will be equal to T4 and it will be equal to TH or it will be equal to T max. You can see the TS diagram or you can refer the TS diagram where T3 is equal to T4 and it is a maximum temperature in the cycle, and the temperature is maintained constant here by replacing a heat insulator which was placed in the previous process with a heat source near the cylinder head. As a result of expansion process, pressure decreases from 0.3 to 0.4 and volume increases because expansion is taking place by moving the piston from 0.3 to 0.4 here. So, volume increases from V3 to V4. For this case, work done by the system per kg of air can be written by the expression work 3 to 4 is equal to P3 V3 ln V4 over V3, which can be written as R T3 ln V4 over V3. And here P3 V3 is replaced with R T3. It is based on your perfect gas equation PV is equal to RT written for per kg of working substance. Next is heat absorbed by the system. Here heat is transferred from the heat source to the working substance. So, that is why we will say it is heat absorbed by the system per kg of system, and it is given by QA, which is taken as heat absorbed or heat added, which can be written as Q34, that is process 3 to 4, which is equal to work 3 4. As we said earlier, the heat supplied will be equal to work done during this process, and work done is given by RT3 ln V4 over V3, and heat absorbed will be equal to this expression. And finally, the relation between pressure, volume and temperature can be written as PV is equal to constant, because the process is isothermal process. So, based on your perfect gas equation, you can write PV is equal to mRT. M is unit mass, R is gas constant, and here T remains constant. So, for that reason we will write PV is equal to constant. So, now writing this law to process 3 4, that is at state point 3 and state point 4, we will get P3 V3 is equal to P4 V4. By rearranging the volume and pressure term, we will get V4 over V3, which is equal to P3 over P4, and this is the expression for process 3 4, and the process can be represented on TS diagram from point number 3 to point number 4, where you can observe heat is absorbed by the working substance and work is done by the system. Moving further, the last process 4 to 1, which is reversible adiabatic expansion process. Expansion continues adiabatically from point 4 to point 1, and work is done by the working fluid without any heat transfer, because the process is reversible adiabatic. Due to expansion, we can notice a decreasing temperature from T4 to T1, as you can see in your TS diagram. So, here heat transfer will be 0 and there is a expansion work. As a result, we can have decrease in pressure from P4 to P1 in your PV diagram, and because of expansion process, already we said there is a movement of piston from V4 to V1. So, increase in volume takes place from V4 to V1. So, here there will be a increase in volume and decrease in pressure and decrease in temperature, and expansion takes place by the movement of piston from point number 4 to point number 1. As a result, there will be a decrease in temperature and pressure, already we discussed that point. So, but the process should be a reversible adiabatic process. To maintain this condition, we are going to replace a heat source which was placed in the previous process with a heat insulator, making the complete setup as a perfect heat insulator. Now, the work done can be written for this case as work 4 to 1 is equal to P4 V4 minus P1 V1 over gamma minus 1, which can be written as R T4 minus T1 over gamma minus 1. Here PV is replaced with RT based on your perfect gas equation written for unit mass of substance. Next, we can have adiabatic heat transfer per kg of air. The name itself says it is adiabatic, so heat transfer will be 0 here, and the relation can be written here as that it is a reversible adiabatic. So, we can write TV to the power of gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. Writing this law to the process 4 to 1, that is state point 4 and state point 1, we can write it as T4 V4 gamma minus 1 is equal to T1 V1 gamma minus 1. By rearranging temperature and volume term, we finally get the expression T4 by T1, which is equal to V1 by V4 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, and this is the expression which we will get from the process 4 to 1, and the same process is represented on the TS diagram from point number 4 to point number 1, where you can see no heat transfer and expansion work. Next we see some of the important performance parameters related to Carnot cycle. In that, first one is air standard efficiency, and we are going to refer TS diagram which helps in the obtaining expression for air standard efficiency. Air standard efficiency is defined as the ratio of heat added minus heat rejected over heat added. Here heat addition takes place in the process 3-4, you can refer your TS diagram QA, and heat rejection takes place in the process 1-2, which is represented by QR here. So for that we can write heat added as Q34 and heat rejected as Q1-2 and heat added as Q34. From the previous processes, we have already established expressions for heat addition and heat rejections. You can refer previous slides. So here Q34 is given as RT3 ln V4 over V3 minus Q12 can be written as RT1 ln V1 over V2, and Q34 can be written as RT3 ln V4 over V3, and these are the expressions which has been already discussed in the previous slides. Further moving from process 2-3 and 4-1, we have established the relation between temperature and volume. So from process 2-3 we get T3 by T2 is equal to V2 by V3 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, and from process 4-1 we will get T4 over T1 which is equal to V1 over V4 whole to the power of gamma minus 1. Now we know T1 is equal to T2 and T3 is equal to T4 by referring your TS diagram, as the processes are isothermal where temperatures are constant. From that we can replace either T3 with T4 or T2 with T1. So finally what we can write here, T3 by T2 will be equal to T4 by T1, and the right side term of T3 by T2 as well as T4 by T2 will remain same. So from here, by rearranging these terms, we are going to get V2 over V3 which is equal to V1 over V4. As the power remains same, it get cancelled on these two terms, and finally by rearranging V2 as well as V4, we will get V4 over V3 which is equal to V1 over V2. Moving further, we will replace V4 here, V4 over V3 with V1 over V2. We will get T3 ln V1 over V2 minus T1 ln V1 over V2 divided by T3 ln V1 over V2. Here ln V1 over V2 remains same in all the three terms, and it get cancelled over numerator as well as denominator after simplification. So finally the expression becomes T3 minus T1 over T3, and this expression can be written as 1 minus T1 over T3, since we know that T1 is equal to T2 here in your TS diagram where temperature remains constant. So you can replace T1 with T2. So now the expression becomes 1 minus T2 over T3, and here we will move T2 term to the denominator part of the T3, and the expression becomes 1 minus 1 over T3 over T2, and from the process 2, 3 we have the relation between temperatures and the volume. So, from there we can write T3 over T2 as V2 over V3 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, and the term here will be replaced with V2 by V3 over gamma minus 1 as RC. Here RC means adiabatic compression or expansion ratio. So, now here you can understand with the help of PV diagram what is meant by a compression ratio or a expansion ratio. The process 5 to 6 or else the process 1 to 2 is known as shaft volume, and the distance from the origin to point number 1 is known as clearance volume, and the distance from the origin to the point 1 or point 5 is known as total volume. Now, the relation RC says that it is a ratio of V2 by V3. So, V2 means it is a distance from origin to this point, that is point number 2, that is known as clearance volume, and V3 means here it is a ratio from the origin to the clearance volume of the isentropic process. So, by taking the ratios of these two, we are going to get the adiabatic compression as well as expansion process, and the final expression for thermal efficiency or adiabatic efficiency or air standard efficiency is given by 1 minus 1 by RC to the power of gamma minus 1, and this is the expression which is known as air standard efficiency. Moving on to next one, mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure is defined as net work done by shaft volume. Symbolically you can write Wn by Vs. So, net work done is means heat added minus heat rejected. Heat addition takes place from 3 to 4 and heat rejection takes place from 1 to 2. Simultaneously we will write Q34 minus Q12. So, then we have the expression for heat addition and heat rejection. You can refer process 3, 4 as well as 1, 2, and shaft volume can be written as V1 minus V3 as I already explained in the previous slide. So, from process 2, 3, 4, 1 we have the relation between temperature and volume as T3 by T3 T2 is equal to V2 by V3 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, and T4 by T1 is equal to V1 by V4 whole to the power of gamma minus 1. So, with the help of this we have T1 is equal to T2 as well as T3 is equal to T4. So, we are going to rearrange the things, and finally, we come across V2 by V3 is equal to V1 by V4. By rearranging V2 and V4 we will get V4 by V3 which is equal to V1 by V2. So, now we are going to replace either V4 by V3 or V1 by V2 respectively. Further, we get RT3 ln V4 by V3 minus RT1 ln V4 by V3 by replacing V1 by V2 over V1 minus V3. So, by simplifying this expression, taking ln V4 by V3 as common, so finally we will get mean effective pressure of Carnot cycle is equal to R into T3 minus T1 into ln V4 over V3 over V1 minus V3, and this is the expression which is used to find out or to determine mean effective pressure of a Carnot cycle. And this is the end of session 1 on Carnot cycles. Thank you.